in 3, 2, 1. And welcome back to Janky AF and my Janky life. Well, it's a beautiful, gorgeous Sunday here, and we actually finally got some light in this garage. I just replaced this bulb, so I thought maybe I'd just give you a quick little look at our lovely Fiat here, which is all torn apart. We are trying to get the exhaust off of this, which you can see it all up in here. It's an OEM exhaust. There's your catalytic converter and all that, and I'm not sure quite how I'm going to get it off. I think I'm just going to basically tear every single bit off this engine and try to, you know, eventually just take it apart. I don't really need it, and I'll learn something along the way. Here's the beautiful red interior. As you can see, I still need to rip that one seat out, but the red carpet, red steering wheel, red door panels. And while we're in the farthest depths of the garage, you can see my golf equipment, more painting stuff that has to be sorted through, a mirror that I took off the side of the road, a roof rack, a mattress cover, all sorts of things, but another box of crap. And of course, we'll just hang this up here and move along on our journey. This is the main garage, well, the car garage, I guess you could say. Here's the other Fiat that has a headboard on top. But always a bad sign when there's just random objects sitting on top of the cars that, in theory, you are driving. Baker scaffold, have to get rid of that stupid thing. But we've basically, you know, I've just started to crack into this area, which the point of that is to back up the Fiat so we can get the Jetta in to start painting. Of course, the Jetta now, I drove it the other day, had a ton of fun driving it. Still really zippy, but now reverse, it's one of those push down reverse and first are being a little like difficult. I watched some beauty videos. I think it might just be this little plastic bushing in the transmission. We're hoping it's that. But you know, right when I'm finally gonna have the weather and the time and the energy and the space to work on the aesthetics of it, suddenly, of course, something mechanical goes wrong. That's just how it goes. Already this space, you probably don't know this, but has been cleared out, so we just have much more of a walking path. I hung up my ramps right there. And so once we can get into here a little bit more, then we can start to clean this crap out. We have some wheels and tires that are gonna get put on the market. And you know, like we've talked about, this whole area is starting to get slowly sorted out, and it's just, you know, such a beautiful, gorgeous day that you know, it makes everything that much better. So it's always, you know, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, because in order to do anything you want, there's always all these intermediary tasks to do in the meantime. But we're getting there, we're making progress, and it's good. You can see the car's open. I'm also cleaning out my car. I got to start a new job tomorrow. This little handy gorilla cart is great for hauling stuff to and fro the house. Also recycling day, taking back recyclables. I got my great, you know, so these 18-inch rollers that I washed out in a previous video, they're all ready to go. So that's great, saving time and money there. Some more recycling from up at the rental property. But what I really wanted to show you, and we're burying the lead here, is that as promised, I've made some progress on the garage. So even though the door won't open all the way, it's progress, I swear. You know, you can walk in here now, and that's a big deal. So again, it doesn't look like much, but we got this stupid TV over here in the corner. Just got it off the desk so I can actually start to clean the desk and maybe use the space a little bit. I want to start listing things on eBay. Isn't this great? I have a little push button. I love these cheap push button systems, and that controls my salt lamp and also controls this wonderful basketball light here right at the push of a button. So that's kind of cool and convenient. And I got the mirror up, and this is a great Janky story. So last time I was complaining and bemoaning that I had to go out and buy picture hanging wire because I didn't know where anything was because I really wanted to get the mirror up. Well, I put the picture wire on, and as soon as I put it on this screw in the wall, which is anchored in, it just completely snapped. Did not even come close to holding the weight. So lesson learned, and a lesson here for all you would-be Jankies. What I did was, in just lying on the ground in the garage somewhere, I had an old lamp cord that was from a project that I had torn it apart, and then I actually got an electrician to make the lamp nice because I didn't want to rely on electrical tape. So I took this lamp cord, tied it around here, and this is really funny because we even have the little switch. So I tied it there and just wrestled it around that little hanger, and you know, just tied it 3 or 4 times, and now for free 99, this lamp cord is doing a much better job than the stupid lamp cable that I paid for. So many times in life, you have what you need right in front of you, and you go out and buy something, and that something that you buy and pay good money for doesn't work as well as something you got lying around. So that's a real janky do thank you right there. And of course, I have to lower this mirror a little bit. So at some point, I'll probably take a screw out of the wall, put another anchor in, and lower it just so it actually, it would be useful if I'm, listing clothing or items for sale here. I can just have a quick view in the mirror, see what's working. So we got our little model up here. We got all the lighting on, and now I can finally start sort of listing items for sale. There's just boxes and boxes and boxes of clothes. I've sort of like stacked them up a little bit, but we have our model here. I think I might just focus on hats for now because it's a good place to start. They're small, and it'll just allow me to just make some sort of little dent or progress. All this shelving at some point will have to be gone through. These bass amps, really nice Italian-made Mark bass amps, are going to go on the market. This air conditioner I'm actually selling for a buddy. Stuff really piles up, but just hats and hats and hats and hats and hats and hats. Skydive. Isn't this a sweet hat? I really like this hat. Lots of them. Okay, we got some more Hawaii, great Hawaii swag. As we all know, I love Hawaii. Maybe I'll put that hat on right now because it's getting a little warm. Janky do thanky. All right, so it's not a big deal, but just that first step makes all the difference in the world because you can actually move around a bit to start doing stuff. So now I can like take better pictures of these appliances to get those listed and get them the heck out of here. And I got a great Fiat seat right there. Take pictures of hats. And I'm hoping what'll happen is this great snowball effect where once I start making progress, stuff goes out the window, I have less stuff and then just a little bit more money too to start paying off debt and all those things. So we got a lot of comments and Janky do thank you. People were interested in my artwork. So I'll do one little mini showing today since I have a little bit of time here. So this is, if you look on my website, www.jankypainting, I like when the people say www. Remember that? They only said 2 W's instead of 3. But anyways, www.jankypainting.com. You will see on my website that this is, I based my logo off of this painting, and it's a much more simplified version, but basically it's some sort of female form in this crow pose, and then there's a toilet on the other side of sort of what do you call it when the two lines, your invisible line. What the heck do they call that? I'm such a terrible art student. There's invisibility plane, something like that. Basically when two lines turn into nothing. Now this is also inspired, if you go look at some of Blue Oyster Cult's early LP vinyl record albums, you'll see a similar sort of black and white motif like that. These are the weirdest clouds. This is like one of my first attempts at painting clouds. I think this one right up here kind of looks like Washington's head on a quarter with the nose and everything, if you can see that. But I still don't know how to paint clouds, but these kind of work just because they're so weird and drastic and shadowy and bubbly. And so this sort of motif, and then you have, of course, I like paintings within a painting. There's always paintings within a painting. If you look at my paintings, like for example, there's like these big barn doors that you almost kind of don't really notice, but it adds this another little dimension of that someone's opening up these doors into this world, and there's these giant speakers blasting. I came up with this motif once upon a time, and then you can see obviously my basketball lamp, which is right there. So that's like, you could say a lot about this painting. I like to leave it up to interpretation, but it's something about, when a human excrement goes into the toilet and sort of like disappears into nothing, there's this process that takes place where we interface with, something of a unending thing. And you could say that's something like the divine, perhaps, is this unending universe that we can't really see, but we feel the presence of. And the toilet is, sort of a worship object, I would say, because it really does keep us alive and solve a lot of our most difficult problems. Diarrhea is like the number 1 or number 2 killer of children in the world. So it's real serious stuff we're dealing with. And the toilet and proper sanitation and stuff like that really does save lives, and yet it's this object that we poo-poo, pun intended, and don't really put a lot of cultural significance on. You know, it's all these other material objects that we want and covet and crave, but the things that we really need and the most basic, you know, life-giving things in life are often taken for granted. And then that kind of ties into the Janky ethos with, you know, things that are not usually number one on people's lists. Sometimes they're number two, again, pun intended. But things that are taken for granted and overlooked, and waste is the other element, you know, things that are thrown away, people's waste. And obviously there's waste as in garbage and there's waste as in feces. And those two words are sort of one and the same, quite literally. So there you have it. There's a quick little art session with Beef Janky. I like to leave things open to interpretation, and, you know, I have yet to fully develop in thesis, in writing my complete thesis of everything I want to say, but it's kind of like a Bob Dylan song. You know, it means to you whatever it means to you, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder, as they say. So there you go. We're running along as usual. Here's some more hats I got to go through. Go Knicks and to go Orioles. It's baseball season. The Orioles have new ownership. Maybe I'll actually chuck this one on right now so you can see how my spastic mind works. But we're making very good progress on both fronts here, both sides of the garage. Maybe we'll wrap it up where we started, back in the other garage. We thank you so much for watching on this beautiful day. I hope everyone out there is, you know, being productive, and if you've been too productive lately, I hope you're enjoying your R&R. And I just sprayed a little WD-40 down there. I'm hoping I can rip a couple peats off just to get better access. So maybe, you know, sometimes while you're doing your main work, it's good to have a little distraction that's still a source of productivity, just to balance things out and make everything fun. So there you have it. All right, this has been another episode of My Janky Life here on Janky AF. We thank you so much for watching, and until we'll have another one. What do I say? We'll have another one coming for you very soon. And until then, Janky do thank you.